fucking hell. That was louder than I hoped for. Oh my god, he's got a van. Monkey, can I just say, I love the van. Definitely a choice for this. I'm very interested to see how that happens, how that works. Just a couple of minutes here before we get going. that was one of the cleaner drifts I've seen. This guy's car is like going with the beat of the music right now. This is a tough edit, honestly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, ladies and gentlemen, the Monkey Mafia Esports GT7 All-Star race happening here. Now, what's interesting about this is that to determine our qualifying order for the upcoming 3 races, race number 1 is a 5-lap shootout of the Lake Louise snow course, as you can see. 15 drivers on the grid tonight. We can get you the current entries at the moment. Representing the Grade 1, Goomba RC Racer, J-Skin Supernova, and then Hunted Steel. Representing the Grade 3s, Mike Lamb, Boning, Speed Hunter, Iceman, and JDM Snob, slash, I don't know what his name is in here. It's American Punk, that's JDM Snob, by the way. And then finally, representing the Red Eye Monster Touring Car Roadsters, we've got Coach, Josh Sr., Wheeler, Beast, and Monkey himself. 15 drivers looking to do their, I would say do their worst, not necessarily do their worst, do their best here tonight. However, in the tricky conditions, as you can see, I mean, this is more of, I mean, quite honestly with you, I'm pretty entertained just seeing them rip around the circuit, never mind actually try to put competitive laps down, but, a couple of cars appear to be struggling with some internet connectivity, as that's RC Racer having a bit of a spin there coming out of the corner. In what I believe that's a Pikes Peak hill climb car. This is Run What You Brung. For this qualifying session. You can run whatever the hell that you want, as long as you can put snow tires on it. That's what some of these guys have done. As we look here, I mean, we've got Speed Hunter in what is a Subaru Impreza. We've got a couple of Ford Escorts out there. We got GTRs on the grid, a couple of GTRs, and then we've got that of Hunted Steel with what I believe is the only actual rally car on the grid for this one. Because then, of course, we've got... Oh, okay, I didn't know the GTRs had a rally car, but Beast is in that. And then, of course, Monkey Mafia is in a van. As he's ripping it round on the high side there, going through the corner. I'll tell you what, there's no missing him out there on the track tonight, that's for sure. We've got P&W Wheeler in a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. A couple more Ford Escorts out there as well. And as well as a M. Boning in what is a... It'll design VGT Off-Road. That's a bunch of words for futuristic thing. And then, of course, American Punk in the Toyota Celica. And finally, Iceman. Plymouth Superbird is insane, dude. This is incredible. I just want to watch this, just for the hell of it, actually. Where this thing has speed, I'm not entirely sure it's got handling ability on the... in the snow. It does look phenomenal out there, and of course Iceman being his name, he should do quite well in these conditions, as this is his final lap as we about get ready to go here. Oh, it just sounds amazing, doesn't it? Anyway, here's our format for this evening. 3 races, each 20 minutes long, save for this first qualifying race here, which is a 5-lap shootout. Race number 1 being used with the Mazda Roadster touring cars. Grid set by finishing order of this next upcoming race. That's going to be at Road Atlanta, 20 minutes there. Following that, we'll be in the Grade 3s. That happening at the Red Bull Ring, 20 minutes. Finally, race 3 in the Grade 1s at the Daytona Road Course, 20 minutes of that as well. And I do believe that we have legit, like, actual point formats for this as well. If they haven't been sent to me, then I probably should have, but I don't know. I don't remember if I even received them. Fan shoutouts. Well, I tell you what, we've got 4 of y'all going right now. I don't have my stream manager open. Let me go ahead and find out. I tell you what, I think car choice of the night so far, at least for this, goes to potentially Iceman or Monkey. Monkey in the Toyota van. Iceman's got this Plymouth Superbird that does appear to be slightly struggling at the moment, I'll be honest, as we got a couple of cars just kind of going way around. It looks like for this qualifying race, it's going to be RC Racer, Coach, Goomba, Mike Lamb, Supernova, Hunted Steel, J-Skin, Beast, Speed Hunter, Monkey, Josh Sr., Wheeler, American Punk, Boning, and then finally Iceman to round things off. This will be the starting grid then for this rallycross race from Lake Louise. I mean, this is insane, I'll tell you the truth. Going to be getting ready to go here very shortly. Got to find the points for this as well. I'm assuming there probably is somewhere. Anyway, just waiting here, getting ready to go for what should be a very interesting first race, to say the least. And of course, this is more or less, I don't want to say for fun, because that kind of doesn't sound necessarily correct. But this is definitely, I think, the oddball out of the races that we do have. Shout out real quick to Sirzal and Monkey Mafia as well for being in this. I gotta find the point structure for this. I don't know where it is. It's been like a year since I've had to deal with this, but anyway. Still, once again, just waiting to go. Oh, thank you, Monkey. I appreciate that. I was looking everywhere for that. 25 points for taking the win, 23 for second, 22, 21, 2019, 18, 17, 16, and the rest. So basically, and again, as we, after that first race from Road Atlanta, the grid will then be inverted, going into race 2 from the Red Bull Ring. That will be, I think it'll be quite interesting there, because again, it's always interesting to see these guys take on different car classes, that's for sure, you know, especially the discrepancy, you know, from anywhere from the Mazda Roadsters to the Grade 1s. You know, each car has their own tricks and challenges along with them. And I tell you what, having raced those Mazda Roadsters the 1-2 times that I did, those things are definitely a handful. I think we'll be in for quite a shock with some of these guys when we do get to that first race. Race number 2, the Grade 3s, I would expect more drivers to have history with driving those. No guarantees. But I would definitely expect more of these guys will have, you know, had some experience, you know, with, say, like a Porsche 911 in the Grade 3s. And then eventually the Grade 1s, which are, you know, these unbelievable pieces of high-tech machinery that could just do literally anything. That, you know, again, it's very, very precise precision necessary to be able to do that. So here we are then, getting ready to go. First race of the night, 5-lap shootout here from Lake Louise. As, of course, nothing works because this game is not good like that, but here we go. Grid start for this one, lights turning off, 3, 4, and eventually 5 lights here from Lake Louise. 5 laps ready to go, and they are away. And it looks like RC Racers got in the best start there. Coach is very close second, but that's Lord Goomba now up to second. He's gone on the inside, and it looks like as they make their way towards this very long right-handed turn 1, they're all going to be absolutely full sending it in here. Look at this. Oh my God, this is just brilliant stuff here. RC Racer has kept the lead off the start. A couple of cars down to the inside. Again, a couple of cars side by side there. Supernova, Mike Lamb, a car way up in the cushion. Oh goodness, they're hitting each other everywhere. RC Racer's got about a second advantage here already. Justin, I think, being able to keep it clean realistically. As Hunt and Steel looking to the inside, or potentially the outside. I'm not entirely sure of Coach making their way through this corner. This is turn 1, 2, 3, probably 3 or 4. A bit of contact there. That's to be expected. Got Jay Skin and Mike Lamb. Oh, this is a good-looking battle here. Wheel to wheel, side by side. Those two were for just a moment there, as that Peugeot is going to drift quite wide out through the outer reaches of the corner. And as now we got quite the pile up here, as American Punk leads the way barely over Jay Skin and Beast. And eventually as well, we do have Speed Hunter barely holding on to this position versus the 11th place car of PNW Wheeler. That's the Lancer Evo. Monkey Mafia in the van, making his way around the outside. Very long corner. Iceman kind of, the car looks great. I'm afraid it's probably not the best for these conditions, unfortunately. As making their way through, we got an incident there. Coaches stuffed it into the fence there on the penultimate corner. It looks like the top 3 or 4 cars have really kind of spread themselves out, and I say that's basically just on timing. They're all still within sight distance of each other, you know, on the circuit. As Hunt and Steel's going to lose a spot there, having drifted a bit wide through the corner. Supernova's actually gone around him and taken that 4th position. Hunt and Steel will now have to defend from Mike Lamb, as Lamb's going to try it down to the inside as making their way in towards turn 1. Peugeot drifting high through the corner again. Supernova to the inside. That Ford Focus has nearly gone round. As a matter of fact, I believe it did there temporarily. He's now lost. I think he's going to lose another spot here to Beast potentially in the Nissan GTR behind him. Through turn 2 as Hunt and Steel again will go along with the... oh, there he goes. He's gone round now. Going to be dropping back, I think, to at least... oh my God! Oh my God, the fucking horn from the van is insane. Okay, RC Racer in the lead. He's got about 5.5 seconds over that of Lord Goomba. I tell you what, though, all credit due to these drivers in the top 4 or 5 cars right now. They are holding on, and despite these conditions, despite these being conditions that, you know, maybe these drivers are not necessarily used to, they're all doing quite well. I tell you what. Of course, slightly spread out now, but we do have J-Skin, and that's Ford Escort, trying to make his way to the back end of the Toyota Celica of that of American Punk. We'll have to wait and see. That looks like a very fast Escort, though. Oh, look how close this is. An off-camber banked corner. Oh, dearie me. He's in the fence there. A couple of cars drifting wide. Oh, there goes American Punk off to the outside, I believe that was. Yeah, that car trying to get his bearings back here. Currently, the van of Monkey Mafia leads Wheeler in the Lancer Evo, and then Boning in the, what is this that he has here? The Vision thing. Currently that for the 10th position as they make their way down the, what I'd say the pit straight. It's not necessarily a pit straight, is it? Back into the first corner. This looks a close one indeed. As that's PNW Wheeler to the inside of Monkey Mafia. He'll take the 10th position as Monkey's going to send that thing round and try to potentially get back on Wheeler. Oh, and he has. It's a bit of a switch back there. Wheeler back up to the inside, and he has taken that eventually. That was a great move. I believe we did have a couple of close quarters up here as RC Racer now has an 11-second advantage over Lord Goomba, who I think may have had a small incident along with potentially coaches in that kind of conversation as well. Some of these guys have drifted slightly further back than previously expected as we are along with Boning at the time being. He's got the van and the Mitsubishi in front of him. As we'll have 2 laps to go this time by. I believe there goes Monkey Mafia. What's happened there? Yeah, oh yeah, he's way out there. Oh, and he's going to try it back up the inside. Oh, slides right in front of Boning there. I think he's got it. Oh, both cars hitting the wall on the outside there. For the time being, they've regained their composure. No guarantees. As Racer now has a 13.5-second advantage over Lord Goomba in second. Again, this race isn't competitive in the sense that these ones are not up for points, but this is determining the grid order for round one at Road Atlanta with the Mazda touring cars. As the grid slightly spread out for the time being, we are on lap 4 of the 5 scheduled. As RC Racer with a 136.6. I tell you what, I talked about some of these guys on the rally car, some of them not. This Pikes Peak hill climb, this is actually a phenomenal car for this. It's got so much downforce. Look at that big wing in the back and then on the front as well. It's actually a hell of a choice by RC Racer. And of course, this isn't even the rally version of the GTR. This is just a default GTR that he's being used there. And this as well is a, I believe this is a full-on rally car as well, the Audi Quattro. Supernova in one of the two Ford Escorts might be trying to get to the back end here, the Peugeot of Mike Lamb, as they make their way through the back end of the circuit once again. Only about a second behind, as you can see. Mike Lamb, however, I must say, is slightly appearing to deal with some internet connectivity issues, as that car is dancing all over the place at the moment. Oh, I think he may have slid kind of out of his own composure there. Supernova could have an opportunity. That is a hell of a corner to try to take, let me just say that. Final lap of the race underway then for RC Racer, having just made his way out of turn 1. Lord Goomba in second. He'll be starting lap 5 here momentarily. Coach in third, Mike Lamb fourth, and again, Mike Lamb having to try to defend from that of Supernova. This one could get very interesting very quickly. Only about 1.2 the difference between these two cars as Supernova starts this one a little bit far behind, but again, any given moment could be a mistake, and I think there might be one there from Mike Lamb way up outside on the cushion, and I think he, well, for what it's worth, he's actually gained time over there over Supernova. I thought he was going to be losing a little bit, but as it turns out, Supernova is the, oh my god, that frickin', I was about to say, that WRX of Speed Hunter absolutely sent it into turn 1. It's a shame we didn't quite get a camera angle of it. That car was all 4 tires off the ground trying to get did a slide into the corner, and that car went into the barriers at about as fast as you possibly could. Here's Hunted Steel in the WRC car, the Ford Focus, and he has gotten around the van of Monkey Mafia, although only temporarily. Oh, there goes Monkey. That car is absolutely full tilt, but I think he's held it. But making his way down the pit straight and to be starting on pole for the Mazda Roadsters is going to be that of RC Racer. Lord Goomba looks like he'll be taking second. It'll be Coach in third. A couple of battles happening still towards the back as J-Skin and American Punk battling it out here, making their way through the very long sweeping right-hander. Only about 0.8 of a second the gap, and even that's closing, and there we go. It looks like American Punk might be in danger here at the hands of the Ford Escort as they make their way out of that corner. As they've got the back marker of the of the Plymouth ahead of them. Out of the final corner now. Oh, it's a battle of acceleration here, and American Punk's going to have that one. He'll take 7th. Do we potentially have any more battles at the back? It does not appear that we do. As Iceman comes home in 15th. So this will be the starting grid. RC Racer will have the top spot. Goomba 2nd. Coach 3rd. Mike Lamb 4th. Supernova 5th. Beast 6th. Punk 7th. J-Skid 8th. Speed Hunter 9th. 10th will be Wheeler. 11th will be Monkey. 12th will be Boning. 13th is Hunted Steel. 14th Josh Sr. And rounding out the grid will be P15 of Iceman. Once Hunted Steel and Senior comes across the line. That will be the starting order then for the first order of business here from Road Atlanta. What a fun little race that was. I tell you what, that was quite exhilarating there. So then, coming up now, the Mazda Touring Car Roadsters from Road Atlanta. Let me tell you something. I did win. Out of the... let me tell you something. I got to have the best winning percentage out of any participating Mazda Roadster driver. You know what it is? 50%, because I've only participated in 2 races. The first one was at Broadbean Raceway, and I won it. And then second was... I think we were at the Daytona Road Course, and I don't remember what happened, but I totally shit the bed trying to race those things, and I ended up rage quitting because I was just so done with it. But let me tell you something. Those Roadsters are they're definitely a handful. Okay, there's no doubt about it. They're a little bit lower on power, obviously, than the other 2 car classes. But God Almighty, they've got to be one of the most fun ways to race in Gran Turismo 7. Every single time that I've gone about and raced these cars, I've actually had a good amount of fun, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the same here. 20 minutes of Road Atlanta coming up. Road Atlanta, very, very difficult track, has to be said. There's really nothing easy about that circuit, nothing at all. Shout out to Ronnie Claw, Skipper Steve, and again, Sir Zal, Monkey Mafia as well, joining us for the time being, hopefully. Hopefully we get a couple of more people joining us here at some point, but for the time being, the only tire required will be that of the racing medium. As I believe Monkey is going to be setting the grid here very shortly. Well, how about that? Oh, that was very fun indeed. Potentially, will we see a couple of these guys get some practice laps in here before we get going? And honestly, any practice that they could have would, I tell you what, be quite welcome, I would have to think. Because again, this track is so difficult. It really is. I mean, there is nothing at all easy about Road Atlanta. I mean... We're talking about some of the most difficult racing circuits in the world. I have to believe that this is definitely one of them. It's certainly every time that I've tried to race, it's just it's a task, honestly. It's a mental task to be able to get clean laps around this track, and no matter what car you're in. But again, what a incredible qualifying race that was in the snow. Run what you brung. I mean, we had everything except the kitchen sink in that race, pretty much. And coming up now, as we said, 20 minutes of Road Atlanta here. We're going to go along board with that of Lord Goomba, give you a quick lay of the land here. Down the pit straight, heading up the hill through turns 1 and 2. This is, I tell you what, in this first lap, it's going to be difficult because the cars naturally want to push to the outside. That's one thing. Then you got to get set up for 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, these downhill S's, such a difficult section of track because, again, I believe... this next one here, this is a bit of a braking zone almost, or sorry, the previous one. But, I mean, the line you have to be able to take to get these corners correct is just so incredibly difficult. And, I mean, thankfully, at least, that is, I would say, the most difficult part of the lap here. Down this straight from 5 into 6, the double right-hander of 6 and 7. I mean, sometimes you'll see a driver get a little bit desperate and try something in towards turn 6, maybe turn 7 if they're lucky. Turn 7 is a bit tighter than that first one. This little left bit here is technically turn 8. And then, I guess this bit here is actually labeled as turn 9. And heading into the 10A and 10B chicane coming up here. Always fun. Especially in these touring cars, you get such a great run of slipstream down into this corner. I would not be surprised to see that turn 10A would be such a great place to overtake here. Turn 11 and eventually turn 12, that will round out the lap as Lord Goomba had a pretty good one there. I mean, again, such a difficult track as sporting the Days of Thunder themed Mazda touring car. It's actually a great livery. Let's do a bit of a livery check here. Somewhat basic there from Mike Lamb, of course, but That is brilliant. Hang on just a minute. Hudson Hornet. Wow. Okay, I like that one. Iceman coming up now. Well, we didn't quite get the best image of him. Oh, that's not bad. Not a bad livery there. We got American Punk coming up now. Well, I kind of like that. I don't really know what's going on the side, but I like the color anyway. Is that a San Diego Padres theme? Is that what that is? Did I see that correctly? Well, that's exactly what it is. San Diego Padres being represented there by Speed Hunter. RC Racer, very American. Love to see it. I believe this is Hot Wheels themed Mazda. That's fantastic. I like that one. Beast has gone with very similar to his GTR from the last round. It seems like some sort of pearlescent finish, which I actually don't mind. Well, here we are. Grid start here coming up. Goomba, you can't park there. Grid start coming up here. 20 minutes of Road Atlanta with the Mazda Roadster touring cars, the Red Eye division at Road Atlanta. Such a difficult track. 15 very quality drivers, 20 minutes between us and the finish, and here we go. Lord Goomba has not had a good start. That car has immediately drifted towards the back and is actually, I tell you what, very much been swallowed up by the grid here. It's going to be 4 wide in towards turn 1. I can only imagine this is going to end well as Beast finds a way to get around American Punk and somehow gets his way up the middle. That, I believe, is Mike Lamb along the outside there, exiting turn 2 as they make their way now down the hill. This ought to be interesting. Beast is absolutely trying to shoot the gap there and make his way through. He's up to 5th, but goodness me, what aggressiveness being displayed as RC Racer's gotten off to a good start here. Coach in 2nd, 3rd belongs to Mike Lamb, but this is the battle here for 4th position. American Punk leads Beast only just, as Beast goes round, he's in the gravel, and I believe was there contact between himself and maybe was it Lord Goomba there. Something has happened. I see you now. American Punk's got a 0.5 of a second penalty. I believe that's probably for corner cutting somewhere along the line. He'll be facing the slowdown here very relatively shortly. Lord Goomba, who started 2nd place for this one, drifted all the way back now to 5th, but really amongst the slipstream here of American Punk, and will try around the outside, heading in towards 10A, and there's the slowdown for American Punk, very brief, but will hurt his acceleration as well, as now J-Skin wants to try to have it on the right side, heading in towards 10A, and he will make that move happen. As they file through 10A and 10B, a couple of cars off at the back, as I believe was that, I thought I heard a spin there, as Boning leads Hunted Steel by just a little bit as well, Supernova, and eventually as well Iceman. Josh Sr. and Beast bring up the back end of the grid after what I believe is to be first lap incidents between those two. RC Racer leads in his American-branded Mazda, and then the Hudson Hornet of Coach in 2nd. Mike Lamb still 3rd. Goomba up to 4th now, having gotten around J-Skin. J-Skin looking to defend from American Punk here for the time being. 0.6 of a second between these two as they make their way down the hill through the S's. Back up the hill, and Lord Goomba's got a 0.5 second penalty for what I believe is a track limits violation. He'll try to get himself in front of Mike Lamb here in towards turn 6. That's a bold move. Will he be able to make it happen? They're side by side. Goomba down to the inside, and he has made that spot for now. Of course, he's going to lose it again once he does get to the penalty line, heading in towards Sector 3. But for the time being, he has that 3rd position. He will be losing that shortly to both Mike Lamb and J-Skin. We'll have to wait and see as he will defend the right side of the circuit. Mike Lamb choosing the left side. There he goes, but as you can see, J-Skin now along the right, heading in towards 10A. He'll take the outside into the corner, and he's made that one happen. Unless does Goomba try to outbrake him into the corner. Doesn't look like that's going to be possible. Maybe does he switch him back? Yes, he does. Lord Goomba now up the inside, going under the bridge, going through turn 11 down towards turn 12. Goomba has the 4th spot once again. What a move that was from Goomba, but it's not over yet as J-Skin is right behind him as well. American Punk is watching this one unfold and hoping for something to happen between these two. In towards turn 1, wider line taken for J-Skin and Goomba. Punk still hanging in there, hoping to try to capitalize on any sort of conundrum possible. Through turns 2 and 3. Top of the hill now, turn 5, the left-hander. I don't believe. I'll tell you what, Goomba's gotten a really good exit there at turn 5, I believe. He's going to be having this one around the left side. Mike Lamb will have to file in. Punk has drifted a little bit far off the back of that one. Speed Hunter could have a move here at Monkey with Speed Hunter's in the grass on the outside is 6. Let's see, Boning half a second behind that of P&W Wheeler making their way in towards turn 7 now. I kind of thought Boning was going to have a look there. Didn't quite, but potentially could he still. Within the slipstream of P&W Wheeler, now will choose the right side, making their way down the very long back straight here through turn 8 and 9. So you can see the last couple of cars on the grid file out behind them. Boning does now have the 10th position, albeit only just 35 one-thousandths of a second. Into the braking zone they go. Boning, does he stay ahead? Yes, it looks like he will. Very nicely done. Now we'll have to defend from P&W Wheeler as we do have Mike Lamb to the back end of American Punk. Mike Lamb appears to have lost a couple of positions here, somewhere along the line. As you can see, Monkey in the 7th position. Repping the epilepsy awareness colors. As Mike Lamb trying the right side. Monkey Mafia on the horn once again. Up the hill through turn 5 coming up now. Oh, and Monkey's going to go around, unfortunately, but it has to be said on my end of the side here, those 2 cars ahead of him definitely glitching everywhere, as it looks like American Punk has gone offline as well. Top 6 or 7 cars here are somewhat spread out between themselves, but I would expect any sort of mistake could see that changing. My brother's calling me now. Give me a minute. Apologize for that, folks. I'm back now. Here's Josh Sr. trying the left side of P&W Wheeler in towards turn 1. This is going to have to be quite the move here from Sr., and he does make that one happen. As Iceman, I believe, has just overtaken Monkey there for the 12th position, making their way up the hill through turns. 1 and 2. So what, some good battles towards the back end of the grid here. Here once again is Monkey Mafia trying his best to follow within the line here of Iceman up through turn 5 coming up now. 0.2 of a second. Monkey lost the car last time by through this corner. We don't know if there was contact with the cars ahead or not. It didn't initially look like there was, but with the connectivity issues, at least on my screen that were visible with the 2 cars ahead of him, that could very well have been one of the factors involved. These cars are bouncing everywhere. Now, it looks like the House of Pain, how much they're jumping around. American Punk is off to the inside, exiting turn 7. Oh, look at this. Who's that? That was Iceman. Goes through the middle between himself and P&W Wheeler, and now Monkey Mafia is going to go along that left side as well. But American Punk was slow to the inside, coming off of turn 7. Wheeler was on the left side, and I tell you what, in the wise words of Ayrton Senna, Iceman saw a gap and went for it. And now has Josh Sr. ahead of him in the Hot Wheels branded Roadster. 0.2 of a second, the gap between these two, as RC Racer still in control of this one. Down the pit straight they go. We are 8 minutes into the scheduled 20. In towards turn 1. All quiet for now, it seems. We'll go back up just to see. It does appear Lord Goomba is within striking distance on Coach for the 2nd position. This is heading in towards turn 6. Through turn 6 they go. Turn 7 coming up now. Good acceleration for both cars. I think Goomba might have him on that. Stays within the slipstream. Very long back straight here, heading in towards turns 10A and 10B. Tries the right-hand side. as this is technically turn 9 here. It's less than a tenth of a second. These cars so even on pace, wheel to wheel, side by side, down the hill in towards 10A. Coach still on the inside, tries to outbrake Goomba on the way in. And I believe, has he made it happen? Yes, he has. Great move there from Coach to be able to hold on to that second spot. And as these two continue to battle, Racer now has a 4-second advantage. Speed Hunter to the back end of Hunted Steel. This is exiting, going through, turn 11 and eventually turn 12 at the bottom of the hill. I was going to say Speed Hunter was within striking distance of Hunted Steel there. He's lost in a couple of tenths of a second in between the time I wanted to say that sentence and by the time I did. My internet is, I don't know if it's my lag happening right now. I'm just trying to clear my stuff here. Okay, there we go. About halfway through the scheduled 20 minutes, and as we have again, Lord Goomba to the back end of Coach making their way in towards turn 6 and 7. Has a small peek to the left side. Oh, he's going to try to switch him down here to the inside. Heavy over the curb. Definitely contact made there. Oh, and this battle was so close the first time round as Coach leads as they make their way through turns 8 and 9 and then eventually towards the chicane 10A and B. Here's Goomba still along the back end. I mean, this is bump drafting at this rate, isn't it? So close. In the chicane they go. Which way will Goomba decide? Coach has it covered pretty well. Goomba will try the outside. And through the corner they go. They're still wheel to wheel, and maybe it's a little bit of contact made there. And Coach will go off track. I think Goomba doing the right thing and refusing to take that position on that. Good sportsmanship between these two drivers here because this battle has been happening brilliantly. As we are now past the halfway point, that has allowed J-Skin potentially into the battle for the podium 3. Up the hill, heading towards turn 2. Goomba still within a couple of tenths here of Coach. Just a reminder, Coach currently the highest placed of the regular Mazda Roadster Red Eye Sunday drivers. Current leader that of RC Racer. Of the representing the grade 1s at the top of the grid, Lord Goomba. There's Lord Goomba on this list. Yeah, as well. In the grade 1 category. Here he goes, potentially trying the outside. J-Skid following him behind. Contact made again there between Goomba and Coach heading through 10A. Oh, is Coach... Oh, I think Coach may have just lost it there to the inside genuinely that time. Goomba's trying it around the outside, and I think if Goomba thought he had done something wrong, he would have given it back. That's what happened last time by. And that time he has kept the position. I think Coach has genuinely lost the car there on his own doing. Coming out of 10B. As now J-Skin having a bit of a peek here. Oh, and he's totally swarmed by the two cars ahead of him. He's not going to be able to have a look. J-Skin as well in the grade 1 category. That makes, what, 3 out of the top 4 belonging to the grade 1s. The only other... say, yeah, three out of the top 5 belong to the grade 1s. Mike Lamb in 5th is a grade 3 driver. And then that of Coach in P3 at the moment is the only other Red Eye touring car driver in the top 5. The other 3, RC Racer, Goomba, and that of J-Skin, all belonging to the grade 1s. Again, heading in towards round 2 of this All-Star event at the Red Bull Ring. It'll be reverse grid of the finishing order of this race. So if you're a guy like RC Racer, that one could be slightly difficult for you. Of course, the Red Bull Ring is definitely a fun track. A lot of opportunities for overtaking there as well. So I would go ahead and assume that race number 2 is going to be interesting to say the least. As the battle for second rages on, we'll have another quick look back. Hunted Steel to the back end of Speed Hunter, that being for the 6th position. No other crazy battles happening outside the top 7 cars for the time being. Along with Hunted Steel on the back end of Speed Hunter. This is in towards and going down the S's here. The hill through turn 5, and I tell you what, Speed Hunter did not look a happy camper through that corner. Hunted Steel is going to have an opportunity here, I think, in towards turn 6. Let's see. Does he try the inside? No, he's perfectly content with staying in behind that Speed Hunter ahead of him. Kind of expected him to try the inside there and towards turn 6. He chose not to. Speed Hunter is going to slide a little bit wide out of 7. And now here's Hunted Steel. Once again, staying right in that behind of the touring cars of Speed Hunter ahead of him. This heading in towards the chicane at 10A and 10B. And potentially now has a peak on the left side. I would assume Speed Hunter is going to defend that inside line, and yeah, there he goes. Hunted Steel breaks a little bit early, expects Speed Hunter to drift back up, and really doesn't. I tell you what, Speed Hunter did not have a good go through that corner, and Hunted Steel does take that 6th position, was able to wear down the Canadian ahead of him. And now we have J-Skin on the back end still of Coach for the 3rd position. Goomba seems to have about a second on the 2 cars battling behind him. Oh, as that was Supernova off in the grass there. That was a slight jump scare there almost. J-Skin now. I'll tell you what, a lot of drafting happening here. A lot of use of that slipstream, which we don't often see in such quantities like this. Of course, these Mazdas definitely, they're not the quickest machines, but having the slipstream is obviously super helpful, as it is in any form. And now heading towards the chicane once more. Coach is still losing time to the back end of Goomba. J-Skin, 3/10 of a second and closing, having a look to the inside. Which line will he choose? He's going to choose the left. Does he try to switch back to the right side? He does. Coach, will he drift high through the corner? Oh, he's caught a slide there. I tell you what, this is some phenomenal battling here because there's no outright favorite, I think, between these two. I think J-Skin's definitely got Coach on the ropes for the time being, but it is right close between these two, heading now towards turn 1 and 2. Skin still follows in behind. Coach still in control of this battle between them for the time being. Whether or not it stays that way, we'll have to wait and see. We've got about 5 minutes remaining. And now here we go. J-Skin. There goes around the outside of Coach up to the 3rd position. Making their way now towards the chicane at turn 10A and 10B. Coach has retaken that 3rd position. Still holding on for the time being. As RC Racer, only a 3.6 second gap. Of course, any sort of mistake in that will be capitalized upon. Good battle going on here. American Punk to the back end of Josh Sr. Tries it now around the left side. Wheel to wheel heading in towards 10A. Here they go. Still side by side. Supernova ahead of him. not exactly ceding position for the time being. Of course, by the looks of it, Supernova will start on pole for the Grade 3 round from the Red Bull Ring, coming up in here just a few minutes' time. American Punk following in behind, using a lot of the slipstream, potentially a little bit of a bump draft there to the back end of Josh Sr. Looks like they'll hold composure for now. We'll check back with them in a little bit. RC Racer, with about a minute to go here, leads the way. And looks like we'll be taking home the big points haul here in round 1. Of course, we'll start from the back end of the grid in round 2. Here comes Jaskin. Looking for it. Tries, I tell you what, tries to sell him the dummy there, doesn't quite work. As I said, it was some great battling between these two. I think there's slightly a case to be made for Coach weaving a bit too much on that particular exchange, but final lap surely for the grid here as they make their way down the hill through turns 11 and 12. 20 seconds remaining as heading in towards turn 1 for what you'd have to expect is the final time. J-Skin holds the outside line. Coach drifts back up the circuit. Skin now once again side by side, heading in towards turn 2. Oh, this has got to be sketchy here. Wheel to wheel, side by side contact made, and unfortunately that of Coach, I believe, is going to be the one that ends up in the grass on the outside and is now a second and a half behind. That's unfortunate. He will not be happy with how that move was made, as Iceman is going to take home P8 there. As Wheel, oh, look at this battle. So Monkey's going to take that 11th spot. Boning will take 12th, of course, with Supernova not getting out of the way there. There's a case to be made that he's impeded that position from potentially being taken. But it will be RC Racer, unless, potentially, does Lord Goomba have a say about it. It's 2.3 seconds the gap. J-Skin and that of Coach still potentially battling there. RC Racer making his way through 10B onto the bridge 11 and 12, and he will come home to win round at number 1 here, and he will start P15 from the Red Bull Ring for round 2, but he will take home the points haul. Goomba second, and what a battle this is. Coach has gotten the inside of Skin there through the final couple of corners, as it looks like Coach is going to take third, Skin fourth. What a conclusion to that one. Mike Lamb fifth, Hunted Steel sixth. Looks like it'll be Speed Hunter, the final finishing driver here in P7. But RC Racer, a commanding win. Goomba second, and he's had to fight for it. I tell you what, any of these drivers at the top 4 here, these are interchangeable drivers. I would definitely expect a bit of a shake-up in the next round. We'll have to wait and see. And now coming up will be the Grade 3s from the Red Bull Ring. Great win there for RC Racer. He did his job. As we just have a moment here. Quick thank you to all those having tuned in for the time being. Killer77, I see you. Let's see, who do we have in here so far? Who do we have? A couple of guys in here. Matty Viper, Killer, Bozo Kazin? I don't know how to pronounce that. Apparams? I don't know. Thank you all for joining, and of course, Ronnie Claw, Monkey Mafia, and Sirzal as well, been in here since the off. Thank you all for joining. Ape Arms. Oh, well, you know what the best part is that Now that you say it like that, I totally see how that's supposed to be pronounced ape arms. That does make sense. That's okay. When you work with children for a living, you start to forget English, how that works. Happens a lot. I'm sure it does, honestly. It does kind of make sense. If you're unfamiliar with the stream, I'm Hotspot. I've been broadcasting sim racing since September of 2020. I've definitely enjoyed doing it in all shapes and forms, and actually that's kind of what my profession is as well, working in the realms of professional baseball, doing broadcast production as well. If you wonder why I'm called Hotspot, it's because up until, what was it, June of this year, I did not have internet at my house, and I did everything from my iPhone's hotspot, and, well, now I'm no longer an internet caveman, but I don't think Wi-Fi sounds as, MMR Wi-Fi sounds as good. But a great race nonetheless there, and if you're just joining us now, you missed a hell of a competition from both the Red Bull Ring, or sorry, not the Red Bull Ring, from Lake Louise, the rallycross, the snow rallycross that we just had, and as well as what we've just witnessed here as well from Road Atlanta in the Mazda touring cars. And next up, we do have the Grade 3s from the Red Bull Ring. Now, this should be quite interesting because there is a lot of discrepancies in the car choices of those involved. Only just the one tire compound required. It's the racing softs, but I'm very interested to see what cars people have chosen here, as we're going to get a quick look as we join the session. We've got Lord Goomba. What is that he's in? Lord Goomba in the GTR, okay. Mike Lamb in the Lancer Evo. We've got Monkey, which I believe is this a Genesis that he's in. Made by the same people that brought to you by Hyundai. Iceman coming out now in the Corvette. Love to see that. Big Corvette fan. Got Captain America and what I believe is a is it a Skyline GTR? Not rightly sure. Coach in the 911, the Lightning McQueen branded 911. We've got Smokin' 'em Holt, otherwise known as Supernova, in the Mustang. Iceman, as we said, in the Corvette. Goomba in the GTR, Mike Lamb in the Lancer. Boning in the Ferrari 458 Italia, not a popular car choice. Not one that I ever really felt comfortable with, but to each their own, and that's why I quite like this. That's why I quite like this Grade 3 class as well. There's just so much discrepancy on what car you like, why you like it. You know, there's not necessarily a meta. I mean, there is, but not in the sense of like, oh, you couldn't take this car out and go win, you know what I mean? American Punk in the Mazda RX Vision. Phenomenal sounding car, this, by the way. Just have a listen to that. It just sounds brilliant. Coach, as we said, in the Lightning McQueen themed Porsche 911. Supernova in the Mustang. Not a popular choice of the Mustangs. That's RC Racer in the Lancer Evo. Iceman in the Corvette, as we've said. The Hunted Steel in the 2020 edition of the AMG GT3. Very popular car choice nowadays in the realms of driving the Grade 3s. Beast in the 911s. Wheelers had to drop out, unfortunately. That's a shame to see there. Only 14 cars remaining. Speed Hunter as well in the AMG. J-Skin in another Ferrari. Josh Sr. in the Jag, making his way. And then Monkey. What is Monkey? Is that a Genesis Monkey? What is that? I believe is that a Genesis. I could be wrong. I will say, having been in the cockpit view of this, yes, it is. I like how it's got the rear view camera there. That's the only gripe I have with this game, is that when you are in the cockpit cam, there is no, like, default, oh, you can turn on a rear view mirror and be able to have it. Of course, this isn't so bad here with Lord Goomba. You can see at the top right there. Mike Lamb, nowhere to be found on his screen where the mirror is, unless you're in VR. You got the rear view camera there for Boning. Can't quite see a lot of it. It is there. American Punk. Oh, it's about there right by his right hand. That's not too bad. Coach as well has got the display on his right side. That's a much bigger display. I like that. Mustang for Supernova. You've got the one above your head to the right, but otherwise not really. RC Racer. It's quite a big left-hand mirror there, otherwise not quite. Iceman. Corvette. I believe the Corvettes did have as well a display along the right-hand side. I could be wrong, but this is more or less kind of, I think, one of the things that I'm not entirely fond about with this game is that you really can't have a rear view camera unless you are in this camera view, which I think when it comes to things like rallying, I quite like this, but not, you know, when you're driving a car. I much prefer the hood cam like that. And as you can see on the back end of Josh Senior's Jag, it says, "I drive a Jag." Surely he's borrowed somebody else's painting and it's in the back of the car right now. Surely. Yeah, you'd have to think. But as we said before, it is reverse grid of the finishing results of that previous race. I believe that means RC Racer will be starting at the back end of the grid. Of course, he did take home the points haul from the first section of it. We got 3 minutes to go here until we get rolling for race number 2. 20 minutes here. Big fan of the Red Bull Ring. This track is, I think when you think about Formula One, this is definitely one of those circuits that you look forward to seeing. Just with the overtaking opportunities that are present. They're not always obvious. Sometimes you got to really work for them. But if you're comfortable with making things happen, you're comfortable with doing your best trying to force things along, then you might like this one. Just a couple of minutes to go here before we are ready to get things rolling here for round number 2. So another thing, as we can see, a couple of track limits penalties being handed out. I would expect to see a fair amount of track limits penalties, especially up here exiting turn 1, as very easy to go wide out of here. As well, you're supposed to take as much as you possibly can exiting that corner, just in the way of acceleration, but you definitely have to expect that we're going to see some penalties being handed out here, as well as I think we just saw Supernova go up out of turn 3. That one less as much, but still there's the penalty line. As we just saw Jace get hit. Iceman's got that as well. As we are Monkey Mafia saying, "We are ready to go." The Bruins are going to begin here very shortly. Here's Lord Goomba has found his way into the gravel on the outside, and here we go. So, ready to begin here. It'll be that of Supernova on the outside in towards turn 1. Beast in second. I would expect Beast to have a good race here. This is one that he's going to need. Beast is a very talented driver, boning in it as well. Monkey Mafia in there. Josh Senior rounds out the top 5. Supernova will have the outside in through turn 1. 5 lights and 20 minutes of the Red Bull Ring. We are underway. It's a very even start that time. Supernova has gotten away very well. Beast has actually not gotten a great start. He is immediately being sucked into the back of the pack here, as it's nearly going to be 5 wide heading up through the first corner as they make their way through. Oh, lots of contact there, and the Jag goes round. That's Josh Senior, and he's going to collect several cars. It's a big pile up here. Cars spinning and sliding and doing everything except going in the correct direction, exiting turn 1. Supernova has the lead, and he's kept it well. Boning is up to second in the Ferrari 458, and he's going to immediately have a look up the inside into turn number 3. Didn't quite have the gall to make it happen. Oh, hunted steal, and he holds on to it barely. Doesn't hit the inside wall. He is losing positions left, right, and center, but at least he can keep his sanity for the time being, having just saved that one. Down the hill now in towards turn 4. Will there be any gutsy moves happening here? And not apparently for the time being. The RC Racer immediately up to the 4th position, and as Monkey Mafia, red flag. What does that mean? Red flag? How do you mean red flag? Oh, well. Apparently something is not going to plan here. Looks like Josh Senior is going to win this race by default, it seems. Not entirely sure why we've had to restart the session, but we have. Exit to lobby, restart is the call here saying from Monkey Mafia. Not entirely sure why we've needed a restart. Of course, we had quite the incident there off the start. But, yeah, not really sure what that's all about. As we just wait here for further instruction. Not really sure why we've decided to chuck in a restart real quick. Not entirely sure. But here we are. Looks like here we are again. Okay, so we start once again. Supernova on the outside. 20 minutes of the Red Bull Ring coming up here very shortly. Lights will be turning on here momentarily. Let's see if potentially this time does Supernova get that much better of a start than Beast. Beast did not have a good start last time, and that resulted in him dropping like a rock. And let's see what happens now. 5 lights on, 5 lights off. Here we go. And Supernova, again, brilliant start. Beast, again, has not gotten a good launch and is immediately, again, swallowed up by the pack here, heading in towards turn 1 up the hill. 3 wide is Monkey on the inside, Beast in the middle, and I believe that was Hunted Steel on the outside, as this time they all make it through turn 1, up through the, what I believe is the Nicky Lauda corner. Then coming up now through turn 2, Supernova's going to have to defend from Boning around the outside. Josh Senior in the Jag. Will he potentially have a look? Really has a send potentially around the outside. Oh, he will. He's going to go off track, though. Maybe will he pick up a penalty? You'd have to expect he will. Hunted Steel has got a half a second penalty there for, I believe, what was it, turn 1 had he gone off track. Lots of cars within close quarters here. Boning has the lead only just as Iceman in the Corvette to the inside. As there's now Josh Senior, Supernova. Supernova, unfortunately for himself this time, has not had a good start here. Down the 4th for him. Boning in the top spot in the Ferrari 458. Iceman up to 2nd in the Corvette. Josh Senior to 3rd in the Jag. Again, this is a reverse grid start of the previous race from Road Atlanta with the Mazdas. Iceman had, he's got a half a second penalty there. I believe he had gone wide going through turn 8, I believe it was. Having gone all 4 tires over the white line, and he will serve that at the next penalty line, wherever that is. I believe it'll be next lap he'll serve it. But he's got a second behind the Boning for the time being. Here's Josh Senior in the Jag. Will he potentially have a go on the inside? He follows in behind the Corvette. Up the hill through turn 1. He doesn't need to make the overtake happen here. He'll get it naturally once the penalty's applied. Up through turn 1. Big slide there. Oh, for Boning as well. He's lost the lead. Josh Senior takes the 2nd spot. Boning drops back to 3rd, and he'll be under pressure surely from Supernova, as Beast as well has a half a second penalty, and it's side by side between that Lord Goomba and Coach making their way up through in towards turn number 3. Here he goes, having a look to the inside, tries to send it. Oh, and I think he gets backed up there on the inside, didn't have the room to make it happen, and that's resulted in him losing, I think, 2 or 3 spots there. penalties to be applied. Josh Sr. will take the lead. Once that penalty is applied, half a second. Oh, sorry, no, it's a full second now for Iceman. Has he gone wide exiting turn 3 there? That's got to have been what it is, because he's picked up a full second. That's going to be super detrimental to him, considering how close this grid is to each other. As he'll be coming up to the slowdown here very shortly. Oh, there he goes again over the curb, exiting, what is that, turn 7. Corvette now to the inside. He'll be losing, I'd say, at least 3 spots here, potentially. Supernova. Will he have a go around the outside of turn 9? Yes, he will. Iceman back to 4th now. That puts Supernova back into the podium places after having started on the top spot. Coach follows in behind. He'll now have it to the inside of the Corvette, heading up the hill in towards turn 1. Fastest lap of the session there for Coach. That behind, I believe, is Goomba now to the inside of that of Beast heading in towards turn 1. Iceman and Coach are side by side. The Corvette on the outside, and he was able to, I guess, hold his line there up through the corner, although having lost the spot. Tyler Dirk trying to do the Super Formula menu book. Well, I tell you what, that is definitely a tough couple of menus to be able to do. That's for sure. I still haven't quite done it yet. Side by side now, it's Monkey in the Epilepsy Awareness Genesis. And then as well, Beast in the 911. Heading down towards turn 4. American Punk and Mike Lamb might be in relatively close quarters here. I tell you what, who hasn't improved is that of RC Racer. He's up to 12th. But you kind of expect him here, as that was a lot of contact. Hunted Steel to the back end of the Lancer Evo. Oh no, that's Josh Senior. Josh Senior's gone round. Oh, what a shame there for the Jag. He was doing so well. And what a shame to have him at the back of the grid now. That's an additional penalty for the Corvette of Iceman. This will be the 2nd consecutive lap here with penalties to be served. As there he goes, slows down the half a second, so he'll lose this position probably to Lord Goomba. Matter of fact, does. Looks like he'll hold the position over Monkey Mafia for the time being. 4 and 3/4 minutes done with this 20-minute race here. Out of turn 10, up the hill. That is that of Supernova, having to defend quite a lot here from Coach. Coach will try the inside in through turn 1. Around the outside is going to be Lord Goomba in the GTR. It's really loose over the sausage curve on the way out, but they're wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side. Along the left rear here of the 911, let's see. Does anyone get the guts to make something happen? Goomba, oh, look at that! Supernova was well early on the brakes, actually. Okay, let's unpack what just happened there. Iceman totally rear-ended Lord Goomba and actually sent him further up the inside and got around Coach. Now Goomba looks like he'll try it to the inside. Supernova was well early on the brakes heading in towards turn 2. Goomba was on the inside. Coach had to react and really had to swerve and went into the oncoming path of Lord Goomba, and that's going to put Goomba up to 2nd now. That was nearly a horrendous accident. That's, what's that? Iceman again, having gone wide, that time exiting turn 5. Sorry, turn 6, actually. And again, another half a second penalty here for Iceman. He'll serve it next time by. As Monkey right up against the back end of the Corvette here once more. It's now heading in towards turn 10. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Of course, those cars getting jumbled up. Side by side now. That's Supernova losing even a couple of more spots there. The Corvette of Iceman had gone really to the inside. That was quite the escape from danger there for the Corvette. Coach up to 3rd, Goomba to 2nd. Boning has the top spot for the time being. Monkey to the inside of Iceman up the hill through turn 3, and it looks like he'll take the 4th spot, no guarantees. Still holds it for the time being, and yes, I believe that he's going to be able to hold this spot, unless does Iceman get a bit gutsy and try something here. Oh, Iceman's going to go into the gravel exiting turn 4, yes. What has happened there with Iceman? He's seems to have gone off track and has now lost one and potentially will eventually be 2 positions here to both American Punk and probably Supernova as well once the penalty is applied. This will be the 3rd penalty of the race. Or, well, when you think about 4th penalty of the race here for Iceman, in just the 7.5 minutes that we've done, there's the penalty. It has been served. And now Supernova to the inside. He will get past the Corvette of Iceman. Iceman will have to defend from American Punk on the way in through turn 9. And exiting the corner, RC Racer, who has now made his way up to 8th. Now, we were talking about RC Racer having not had the best beginning to this race. As he's kind of settled in here, he's definitely gotten a little bit better. Here he is here for the 7th spot, side by side, up the hill into turn 1, late on the brakes, tries it on, I think accidentally, tries it on Iceman as well. I don't think he was looking to dive that much far in, but definitely made that happen. And now again, Iceman. Right-hand side of this of Supernova in towards turn 3. Not going to happen, not now. Boning has the lead here, 3-second gap over Goomba in 2nd. Goomba has a little bit of a cushion to the back end of Coach for the time being. And again, it's about a 1.5 to Monkey. Supernova and Iceman now side by side. The Corvette way down to the inside in through 4. And a good-looking move there, but it's now potentially RC Racer trying to get his way into this battle as that car seriously spun tires, getting on throttle exiting 4. Nearly losing the spot to American Punk in the Mazda. That was almost bad there for RC Racer. He's, again, started at the back end of the grid following race 1. And has made his way up to 7th. As now he'll get the left side of Supernova through turn 8. Great move there for RC Racer. Now another 2nd back of Iceman. Iceman, for only the 2nd time this race, has not had a penalty to serve at that line back there. So exiting turn 10, Racer, Iceman in the 5th spot. Does set a personal best that last time. RC Racer, 6.5 tenths behind him. 4.5, 5 tenths behind him is American Punk. 4 tenths behind him is Supernova. Supernova, despite having started at the top of the grid, I think has now been kind of gobbled up here by the rest of the grid here. Of course, Supernova again finished the last race, P15. Started on the pole for this one. Oh no, he's going to get turned here. Mike Lamb was either later on the brakes or missed his braking zone there because he went into the back end of Supernova. Now look at this, 3 wide, heading down the hill towards turn 4. This is insane. Wheel to wheel to wheel, heading into 4. Supernova on the inside, Hunted Steel in the middle, Mike Lamb on the outside, and Hunted Steel through the middle and gets it to go. Great move for Hunted Steel and great battle between those 3 as now Mike Lamb wants to try to find a way to Supernova here for the 9th position. In through turn 7, he's not quite going to get it, unless now does he? Yes, I believe he will. On the left side, Supernova, I think, had somewhat of an error there through turn 7. Not rightly sure, but that car was unhappy. Well, as we're about 10 minutes in the way here through race number 2, want to take the time to thank you for inviting us into your homes this evening. Iceman to the inside. That's RC Racer to the inside of Iceman, and Iceman will have an additional half a second penalty, although exiting turn 1, they have a fair line here. On the back end of RC Racer, heading up the hill in towards turn 3. That's Monkey Mafia ahead in the Genesis. Has a half a second penalty as well in towards turn 3. Racer goes a little bit deeper into the corner. Iceman holds the outside line. Bit of wiggle getting back on throttle. And I don't believe he's going to be able to make it happen for the time being. That may allow JDM Snob American Punk to get his way into his battle. I just want to take a second here to listen to the Mazda. This car sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Although now, RC Racer to the inside. Exiting turn 4. I tell you what, they're going to be wheel to wheel here. In through turn 6 and eventually 7 after that. Penalties coming up here for both Monkey and Iceman, so Racer will take the 4th spot probably. As through turn 7 through turn 8. And penalties applied. There it is. RC Racer up to 4th. What a race he's having. So Boning has the top spot, only 1.8 now ahead of Goomba in 2nd. Goomba is setting, that is now a race fastest by everybody involved in it. I tell you what, it does starting to look slightly gloomy. It does have to be said. Almost looks like rain could be on the way. I don't believe there's any rain scheduled, but American Punk to the back end now of Iceman. This is exiting turn 1 through technically turn 2. Towards turn 3. Doesn't look like anybody's going to make a serious dive here. So Racer has retaken the 4th spot. Monkey has dropped to 5th after having his penalty applied. Iceman in 6th. American Punk now in 7th. And Punk could be having a look here at Iceman heading in towards turn 4. Let's see. He's going to choose not to this time, although Iceman was way late on the brakes. He's going to drift quite wide through that corner. Gets on the curb on the outside, and that car was well out of shape, but managed to catch it. That, of course, slows down American Punk's progress to try to get up towards Monkey for the 5th spot. So Iceman, oh, that might be a penalty there for Punk, having gone all 4 tires over the white line. Have to wait and see. Doesn't give it to him. A bit harsh if it does, but I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen a lot. We've definitely seen penalties here today, in this race in particular, and for what seems to be a lot less. Here's J-Skin trying the left side of Supernova, potentially in towards turn 9. We'll actually go along with Speed Hunter here, as Supernova's going to drift wide. They're now wheel to wheel in now through turn 10. Supernova will lose that position. Oh, it's Supernova. Oh, that's unfortunate. That car was well out of shape exiting 10, and he had lost control of that car in front of that of Speed Hunter, and it's a shame. That car has to go round. Unfortunate way for this one to go for Supernova, as he was having a very promising first little bit of that race. Dropped back a little bit. Was still battling, and battling quite well. That's so unfortunate to have that one happen. Josh Sr. in the Jag as well. He started well a ways up the grid and had that accident earlier on. That plummeted him out of contention. And now the battle for the top spot, Boning and Lord Goomba. Top 2 here. Six and a half tenth of a second as they head towards turns 9 and 10 now. Very close between these two. And it wasn't always like that. Only recently does it seem like Goomba has gotten himself back into contention. Boning for the time being, however. Tell you what, this is going to get quite close here. Let's go along with the Nissan of Lord Goomba. Goes. Boning did not have a very good exit out of turn 1. Here goes Goomba around the left side. This is turn 2, then up the hill towards turn 3. Wheel to wheel, side by side. Goomba still on the inside. Who will outbrake who? And it looks like the Ferrari on the inside of Boning is going to be able to take that one. Although Goomba tries to switch him back, exiting the corner. Great efforts from both involved, but not quite. Here's now Goomba. Left side. Really late on the brakes. Will he be able to take it? Wheel to wheel through 4. The Ferrari still on the inside. Little bit of contact made there. But a great battle between them. Down to the last 4 minutes of the race here. And we are wheel to wheel for the lead heading in through turn 6. The Ferrari on the outside, you'd have to expect. This is going to be a task for him. And I don't really know why Boning was starting to lose the time. As Goomba now to the top spot. Over through turn 8. They're still wheel to wheel. Oh, look at this. Goomba now files in behind, I think only just for the time being. What a battle. From turn 4 to turn 9. Now exiting turn 10. 2.5 tenths of a second the gap. Goomba, what does he try? Inside or outside? Tries the outside. Will he be earlier on the brakes and switches back the Ferrari? That would be my guess. Oh, he tries it, but the Ferrari kind of had that one covered, and there was some contact made there with the left rear. I think that's the only reason that blatant move wasn't made. Quite frankly, a bit lucky that the Ferrari didn't go around with that contact. Not that it was malicious or anything, but it did happen. Goomba trying to be later on the brakes on the outside, in through 3. Once again, the Ferrari of Boning is able to cover it off. At a 0.6 of a second. Heading down the hill in towards turn 4. Still, 5.5 of a second between them. Again, phenomenal battle happening here. So about 90-second lap times. We're coming up here to what will be either the final or penultimate lap of this race. About 90 seconds ago, as they hit the line. Tell you what, I think we're gonna get 2 laps here, to tell you the truth. Up the hill into turn 1. Goomba trying the outside, not quite gonna find it. Boning still having to defend. Goomba still right in a position to potentially take it. Here he goes, along the back end of the Ferrari. A little bit of bump drafting happening. Daytona's up next, gentlemen. Trying the outside. Boning kind of figured he was gonna have that one. The Ferrari definitely later on the brakes, but Goomba switching it back to the inside. Who gets better acceleration? I think it's only just going to be the Ferrari. Such brilliant racing, this. Goomba now trying the left side the long way around. Through turn 4, wheel to wheel they go. Oh, and even still the Ferrari elbows out between the both of them. This is brilliant. Through turn 5, heading in towards turn 6. 30 seconds remaining in this one. Again, Boning absolutely covering off the apex there. Here's Goomba trying it around the outside. That Ferrari wants to slide. Oh, goodness me, contact made. 15 seconds to go. The Ferrari outbrakes him on the inside. 10 seconds. 1 more lap to go. Wheel to wheel, side by side. Goomba's got it out of turn 10. Final lap underway. Goomba has it, 0.2 of a second. Coach takes 3rd. Racer takes 4th. Great result for Racer. Oh, and that's Boning into the back end of Goomba. Contact made there up through turn 1. 0.6 of a second the gap. Coach taking 3rd, Racer 4th, Monkey 5th, Iceman, Mike Lamb, Steel, Punk, and J-Skin round out the top 10. And it's about a second exiting turn 3. Heading down now towards turn 4, and I'm not entirely sure Boning's got enough left here to be able to get back at Goomba again. Exiting turn 10. Goomba had that position, and it doesn't look like it's going to be going back unless does Boning have something special saved up here, which he very well could. Goomba goes maybe a little bit wide there through 6. Boning's been so used to having to defend that he may not have a hot lap left in him. 0.7 of a second. Less than that, half a second now. Exiting turn 8, and I think that, unless a mistake is made here from Goomba, that's got to about do it, hasn't it? Coming through the final couple of corners. Lord Goomba ahead, 0.8 of a second. And now, exiting 10. Keeps it within the white lines as well. Lord Goomba is going to take race number 2. And what a thrilling victory that was versus Boning. Unbelievably incredible race those two had. Ronnie Claw couldn't have said it better myself. Brilliant stuff between them. And so now we wait. 20 minutes of the Daytona road course coming up next. Don't go anywhere quite yet, folks. We've got one more race for you. RC Racer as well. Yeah, I agree. From Coach there, RC Racer, great recovery. Having had to start at the back for winning race 1. Comes up and I believe finishes 4th in that one. Brilliant result. Once again, thank you all for joining tonight. The GT7 All-Star event. This has been it was a fantastic go through it last year as well. And I tell you what, great couple of races we've had so far. And race 3, the Daytona Road Course, sure to be much of the same in the grade 1s this time for that. Not a lot of discrepancy in what is available to be used with the grade 1s. There's only really 1 or 2 that you really look at and say, hey, that's the car I want to use. I would expect mostly a grid of Toyotas here. Lord Goomba, he's on controller? Seriously? Tell you what. That's impressive if he is. Just waiting for our good to go here. I believe it's going to be the grade 1s coming up next. Contrary to what these guys have dealt with all night, these grade 1s are definitely a different beast. You know, in 2 car classes where so far, I don't want to say raw pace, but the fact of having to try to muscle a car around to now doing this, where these cars turn on a dime and give you 9 cents change. It's going to be quite interesting to see. As we just go along with our drivers here, I believe, is there required tires for this one? It certainly seems like there might be. Did it say there is? Ah, racing mediums and racing softs for this one. A couple of pit stops to be had. Let's see if we do have any discrepancies in car choices. Mike Lamb in the Toyota, which you kind of expected. Speed Hunter in the Audi. I do have Coach now. I believe this is as well a Toyota. Could be wrong. Yeah. And as well for J-Skin as well. This might be another Audi here. I think it's got to be. Yeah, Audi here for Supernova. Now this is interesting. I always notice this. The Audi that is used does display the Bahrain circuit on the right side there, as you can see. The Bahrain circuit is not available in this game, so kind of weird. But there's only 2 takers of the Audis so far. Everybody else that I can see, except for Monkey. What is Monkey taking here? Is that a Porsche? I think it has to be. I think the Porsche here for MMR Monkey. That's what it certainly seems like. Once again, 20 minutes on the way here from the Daytona International Speedway road course, home of the Rolex 24. Just a couple of minutes to go here. Haven't quite gotten word yet from Monkey when our good to go is, but I would assume that's quite soon. Monkey Mafia, 2 laps to be completed at least on both available tires, that being the mediums and the softs. We have 2 minutes to go here for our final installment. Once again, thank you all for joining us tonight. Just a reminder, I mean, we have these 15, what was 15 cars, of course only 13 cars in the grid now. But of the respective All-Stars from the 3 GT7 series, representing the Grade 1s, who I would expect to have good races here. That of Goomba, RC Racer, J-Skin, Supernova as well, and then Hunted Steel. Mike Lamb in the Grade 3s last time round, as well as Boning, Speed Hunter, Iceman, and JDM Snob. And finally, representing the Red Eyes is that of Coach Josh Sr., Beast, and Monkey. Here, Beast is still on track tonight, unfortunately, as we are once again just moments away from our third and final race of the evening. Fun evening of racing it has been. Once again, want to thank you for inviting us into your homes tonight. As we are just about set to go here. So here we go. Getting ready to start. Supernova, once again, will have the top spot. Josh Sr. second. Third belongs to Speed Hunter. Fourth for J-Skin. Fifth for American Punk, Hunted Steel, Mike Lamb, Iceman, Monkey, RC Racer, Coach Boning, and Goomba round out the grid. And here we go. Lights turning on. And now, we are away here from the Daytona Road Course. 20 minutes. And tire strategies to be in play as we are underway as the Audi of Supernova to the inside, heading in towards turn 1. And this is going to be the conundrum here because the cars naturally will want to push to the outside. Already lots of contact being made there as that's way up the inside, I believe. Is that American Punk? Really wants it now. Up to second, potentially making a play for the top spot if he can. Oh, I'm not sure he's going to get there. Well, he's actually doing a bit of grass trimming at the moment, and that car has been automatically reset by the game as we got a pile up going into the corner. Several cars off here, that being, I believe, Monkey, Punk, and I think as well Goomba involved in that one as well. Josh Sr. has the top spot, J-Skin second, third, Iceman, fourth will belong to Supernova, and the fifth spot belonging to that of Speed Hunter. Exiting the West Horseshoe in towards turn 6 and 7 now. Speed Hunter to the inside of Supernova. Supernova in the Audi. Apparently struggling there, it seems. He's now dropped 2-3 positions since entering the infield through NASCAR 1 and 2. On the outside there, that appears to be Mike Lamb trying to find a way. Oh, sorry, let's go back along with the gyro cam if possible. That looked pretty cool. Heading into the chicane coming up now. This is where things could get crazy. Later on the brakes there, Hunted Steel, I believe, just made a hell of a collision with the back end of Supernova and has had to resort to taking the grass. And now side by side. Oh, hang on a minute. That was, I believe, was that Eli Coach there. I think having made contact there with Mike Lamb on exit of the chicane, as now Josh Sr. under pressure. This is with Jay Skin behind. Coming to the tri-oval. Lap number 2 underway. Remember, 20 minutes to go. In this race, you must use both the mediums and the softs in this event. A minimum of 2 laps on either tire. Side by side, wheel to wheel, Jay Skin to the inside, entering the International Horseshoe, and I believe he's going to have this one. No, Senior, what a switchback to the inside. He's made that one happen. And now Jay Skin still trying to go wheel to wheel here. What brilliant battles this is, and eventually Jay Skin does take the top spot, although drifts a little bit wide into the West Horseshoe. Big wiggle there for Josh Senior. Iceman now to the inside. He'll take the second spot. In towards turns 6 and 7. And, of course, don't forget, in what, 6 days' time, we're going to have Project Motor Racing to go along with GT7. I mean, what a fantastic game that's looking like it could be. This is got to be the race to look out for here at Goomba, Boning, Coach, and wherever RC Racer is as well. RC Racer currently 4th. Boning now to the inside. Pause. Oh, will he be later on the brakes? Oh, Coach has tried to be on Supernova, not quite. Bit of a reaction there from Coach to try to outbrake the Audi. I think he was more or less trying to outbrake in defense Boning and nearly made contact with the Audi ahead of him, and now around the outside through NASCAR turn 4 and coming down off the banking, as that will be RC Racer and Josh Senior into the pit lane, as well as Speed Hunter. Several cars pitting now. And remember, the mediums and the softs required in this one. No need to refuel unless you absolutely feel like it. Of course, you can't adjust the fuel load. To go with the default, which is full. That's what the game gives you. 3.7, sorry, well, 0.3 of a second the gap here. Iceman and Skin exiting the west end of the horseshoe. And finally, through turn 6 and heading towards NASCAR 1 and 2. Cam on that. Oh, heck yeah. Exits NASCAR 2, half a second between them, heading into the chicane, the Le Mans chicane. Looks like Iceman's going to go a little bit wide there. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty. Second, Coach to the back end of Boning. This is for the 3rd position. (194 mph) into the tri-oval, heading now in towards turn 1. These top couple of guys here, I mean, Skin, Iceman, Boning all on the softs. Of course, it's the mediums for Coach and Hunted Steel. Oh, it's Josh Senior to the outside of Hunted Steel. Nearly wanted to have a look there. Sorry, that was on RC Racer. Apologize. Josh Senior, one of the drivers to have stopped for the opposite compound. Of course, again, you're required to run the mediums and the softs in this race. And Supernova, and it appears American Punk within close quarters here, 0.4 of a second. It appears Monkey is no longer in the Porsche. It looks like now he's gone back to the Toyota. Here goes American Punk. Does he have a look around the outside through the West Horseshoe? Doesn't appear as he will, although still only 0.2 of a second separate them as they head towards turn 6. Out of the inside as they blend onto the banking in towards NASCAR 1 and 2. And American Punk still to the inside. Side by side they go. And American Punk looks like he'll be having that one. Good move from American Punk, and now to the 10th position. So, do we see Supernova potentially try something into the chicane? That'd be something if he did, and no. A little bit further up the grid, Hunted Steel into the pit lane now, and of course no speed limits enforced in this game. Medium tires, he'll be having the softs here. Skin the top spot, Iceman second. Iceman having a good race here after the calamities he had in race 2 in the grade 3s. Trying to look for our next closest battle here. It's got to be Lord Goomba to the back end of Speed Hunter, and Goompa's having a little bit of trouble with his car at the moment. That car looked slightly out of sorts there. I'll tell you what, Speed Hunter did not have a good go through turn 6 and 7. Here's Lord Goomba around the outside. This is through NASCAR 1 and 2, and it looks as if Goomba is going to make this one happen. Still around the outside. Well, potentially I've spoken too soon. Still wheel to wheel. And now heading in towards the Le Mans chicane. It looks like Goomba's going to stay ahead for now. Only just. It's still 0.2 of a second between them. Speed Hunter, here he goes. What kind of a toe will he have? Heading into the tri-oval and then eventually turn 1. Goomba trying to break the toe potentially. 199, 200 mile an hour for Speed Hunter. Definitely hunting the speed here, and he tried it briefly around the outside into 1, not going to happen. Still 0.6 of a second between them. We'll join that battle in just a minute. Right now we do as well have Lord Goomba to the back end of Josh Sr. This is a 3-car battle for the 6th position. Josh Sr. in that teal-covered Toyota. Of course, the Toyota for Lord Goomba, and eventually Speed Hunter as well. Here comes Lord Goomba looking for the inside here through the west end of the horseshoe. And, oh, big slide there for Josh Sr. into the grass. Comes across the track right in front of Lord Goomba. Sorry, was that Speed Hunter? Who was that? Either way, that's a Code Brown moment there for everybody involved, as that Toyota of Josh Sr. got well out of shape and to have slid right across the circuit in front of the couple of lead cars there. You'd have to expect potentially some emergencies in the underwear department there, it has to be said. J-Skin in control of this one. About halfway through our 3rd and final race. 3.5 seconds over Iceman in second. There goes Coach into the pit lane. Be interesting to see where the strategy leads us here. Soft tire's going to be going on for him. Lord Goomba will take the 5th position. Just looking around for any battles we may have here. We have this one, Monkey. To the inside of Supernova. That will be for the 9th position. And Monkey's going to take that one. Still only 0.3 of a second. We'll see if Supernova has anything to say about it. Supernova in the Audi. Oh, on a big slide, and Supernova's gone round, yep. Shame there for Supernova. Looks like he was starting to gain some time there on Monkey exiting the International Horseshoe, and unfortunately it's all gone slipping away. Big slide again for Speed Hunter exiting turn 6 and 7. That car is definitely not happy on the flat sections of this track. American Punk 0.4 of a second behind Hunted Steel is heading into the Le Mans chicane. tenth of a second still through NASCAR 3 and 4. Still 6/10 of a second here as we are into the final. We are past the halfway point. Oh, big slide there for American Punk. How has he caught that? That was hunted steel. Having slid about there, he'll drop a couple of spots. American Punk somehow was able to hold that one. Here now is hunted steel to the back end of Coach. Coach having just pit not too long ago for the soft tires. Into the West Horseshoe here. Very close indeed between all those involved. Coach a little bit far behind of his immediate competitors here. Unfortunately I am saying that correctly. That is an OnlyFans branded. Sorry, OnlyFans and Tinder. That's a phenomenal combination. Exiting NASCAR 2, there goes the OnlyFans around the outside, potentially into the Le Mans chicane. No, not quite. Had a quick think about it. Wasn't able to pull the trigger on that one, unfortunately. Into the pit lane comes Boning. From the third position, that'll make RC Racer now up to the third spot. Not sure if RC Racer is stopped yet. It doesn't. You'd have to think that maybe he has, as now J-Skin and Iceman. Oh, look at this battle for the lead real quick. Wheel to wheel these two are. Heading into the West Horseshoe, and it looks like J-Skin's going to be able to stay out ahead for the time being. As Boning now into the pit lane. Medium tires for him as expected. Big slide there for Iceman. In and out of turn 6 and 7. It's half a second, 6/10 actually, between these two. Going now through NASCAR turns 1 and 2. Great little battle they had there in through the first couple of corners. Heading now into the Le Mans chicane, 6.5 of a second. Who gets a better exit? Oh, it looks about even, but I would argue maybe J-Skin only just. And yeah, you can see J-Skin starting to pull ahead ever so slightly, only a couple of hundredths. Iceman not really falling anywhere closer back in line. We'll check back with them in a little bit. We do have American Punk to the back end of Boning, as that is now J-Skin into the pit lane. In through the chicane, American Punk, well, I tell you what, wouldn't be surprised if he maybe picked up a penalty for that. You'd definitely gone over the curb. All 4 tires over the white line. Only a 10.5 between these two. There they go. American Punk. What does he try to do? He tries to file right in behind. A little bit of bump drafting here. We're at Daytona, aren't we? 10.5 heading in towards turn 1. And this first corner so difficult as well, considering how, it goes from the banking of, the NASCAR Tri-Oval immediately onto the blend is very difficult. And then, of course, immediately, it's like a bit of a curve braking zone, really. It's not straight in. You can take it straight in. It's difficult to get right. As Punk around the outside, well, he had a little bit of a try. Boning was able to cover the apex easily. So now once again heading towards turn 6 and 7. And then eventually NASCAR 1 and 2 out of that. 2.5 of a second. A Supernova, unfortunately, has left the room. They're down to 12 tonight. 0.2 of a second. Here goes Punk. Looking for M. Boning here as they exit NASCAR 2. He looks to the inside. Surely he won't try something into the chicane here. Oh, he absolutely wants to have the look. But I think smart enough to maybe let that one not happen. 0.3 of a second exiting the chicane. Here they go again. Entering the last 5 minutes of the All-Star Challenge. 0.2 of a second now. Into the tri-oval, round the outside, looking American Punk in through turn 1. Oh, difficult one here. Punk still on the outside. Boning got that car back down very nicely. And ahead of him is the Canadian of Speed Hunter. Here goes Punk again, trying the outside. Not quite going to have it. Still 0.3 of a second. We'll check back with those guys in a little bit. Right now, Iceman has the top spot. RC Racer second. Lord Goomba third. RC Racer having taken race 1. I think it was P4, race 2, and here he goes, looking like could be in potential to finish second in race 3. I think that would probably wrap up the All-Star Challenge win for him, as Speed Hunter leads M. Boning by only 0.7 of a second, who leads American Punk by only 3.5 tenths. Exiting NASCAR 2, heading for the chicane. 2 minutes 15 remaining. It's Iceman into the pit lane. Oh, geez. Iceman let that one happen as long as he possibly could. Really went for the long game on strategy. Where's he going to come out? Third and dropping for the time being. Look at this. American Punk all over the back of M. Boning here. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Punk around the outside. Through the NASCAR tri-oval, in towards turn 1. RC Racer takes over the top spot. Big slide. Poor American Punk wasn't able to get the hammer down. Was able to find his way to M. Boning for P6. Of course, Speed Hunter, despite being within close quarters to Boning and Punk behind him, he doesn't quite have to worry for the time being. Those two are battling all on their own. RC Racer has the lead with about a minute remaining here, and it looks like he will be the victor of this All-Star shootout. American Punk now, he really wanted the outside there, the West Horseshoe of M. Boning, wouldn't let it happen. Exiting turns 6 and 7. Up through NASCAR 1 and 2. American Punk way around the outside. Look at this one. On the high line. There they go, still about even on speed. Punk around the outside, wheel to wheel they go. Heading towards the chicane. This is for the 6th position. With less than a minute remaining, into the chicane. Punk will be later on the brakes. Sorry, that's Boning later on the brakes. Less than 0.2 of a second between them. That has allowed Coach and Hunted Steel into this battle as well. 30 seconds remain. Racer beginning his final lap now. Lord Goomba as well. Wheel to wheel. Oh! Who's that there? That's American Punk. He's got a half a second slowdown. 10 seconds remain as there goes Coach to the inside. Hunted Steel to the inside as Punk will drop back to the 9th position. Final lap now underway. RC Racer making his way, exiting the horseshoe, and now heading towards turn 6 and 7, but the real battle is actually for what believes to be the 4th position, but Speed Hunter, M. Boning, Coach, Hunted Steel, look at them, they're all within reach of each other here. There goes Punk to the inside, trying to make a bit of a move here on Hunted Steel. Wheel to wheel they go. Heading towards turn 6 and 7. Round the outside. Steel will drift high. Punk will switch him back. Now down to the inside. Heading towards NASCAR 1 and 2. Through the chicane for the final time is RC Racer. As American Punk's going to make that one happen. Could potentially be a move here for Coach or Boning or potentially even Speed Hunter on J-Skin. 0.2 of a second. Oh, and less than that even on the way into the chicane. And oh, look at this, side by side! Punk into the grass. Not able to make it happen. But RC Racer taking the win here. And not only the win of this race, having won race 1 as well, that will surely lock up the All-Star Challenge for him. J-Skin with a great run on Iceman, but he's got a penalty to his name. And will not be able to take P3. Settles for 4th, Speed Hunter 5th, Coach 6th, 7th for Boning, and look at those two at the line. Coach beats out Boning by half a tenth. What a race there, and ladies and gentlemen, that will mean it's got to be our RC Racer, your victor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure joining you this evening for Hotspot. I cannot wait to do this again next year. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Congratulations to all those involved, because I tell you what, these are 15 of the best that we have here in Monkey Mafia. Thank you once again. We will see you next time.